Okay, hello everybody. We've got quite a few people joining. Nice to see you all. We have some of you from inside my school and some other of you from outside. So welcome Carol, Carl, Darko, Fredi, obviously, Gian, Greg, Yane, Jesse, John, Mark, Matt, and Fabian. Probably we'll have couple more people joining, but it's already 1 minute past the hour, so I think we'll just get going straight away. So we do these classes with guests regularly. I'm very happy to have Fredi. I've met Fredi in Berlin. I lived in Berlin for a couple of years before moving to Spain. And so we've met there, I think, must have been at a jam session or something. And then yeah, played one or two shows together, something like that. And as you guys know, the Gypsy jazz community, we all end up knowing each other, right? And that is, for me, it's one of my favorite things about this style of music. The community is always great, and I rarely met anyone who wasn't cool, let's say. And so, very happy to have you. And as I was saying, very excited to have Fredi, who's a very young guy and very, very talented. And he's a bit of a rising star in the scene. More and more people get to know him because he's amazing. And so he really deserves that. He played with some really cool players, I think with Babao, with Yosho, with Sven. And so I will actually leave it to him to introduce himself a little bit, and then yeah, we'll take it from there. You guys will receive a recording of this as well. So there will be we don't have any tabs ready, but you will be able to watch the recordings of this. We will send it to your email address, to your email inbox. What else? I just had a quick chat with Fredi before this. He said that he will say that to you as well, but you guys are welcome to interact, ask any questions. You guys might be familiar with the reactions button in Zoom. You can raise your hand there, right? So anytime, raise your hand, Fredi will see it and he will get back to you. If you don't find that reaction button, or if you don't know how to raise your hand, you can always type in the chat box. You can type your questions there, or you can just type question and then we'll get to you. So yeah, take it away, man.
Yeah, thank you very much, Filippo, for this warm introduction. Yeah, hey guys, welcome everyone. I'm very happy to be here, and that Filippo invited me to talk a bit. And yeah, as Filippo said, please feel free to interrupt me if you have any questions. I want to do this kind of interactively. I'm very happy that I can see all of you. So you turned on your cameras, most of you. So thanks therefore. And yeah, maybe like a few sentences to me. As Filippo said, I'm a Gypsy jazz guitarist from Berlin, and we met here and played some gigs. And to Filippo, we are still running this jam session. Filippo was the host of the really nice jam session in Berlin, and then he left, and we took it over.
That's great to hear, man. Great to hear that it's still running.
Yeah, and you are always welcome here to come to Berlin and play with us.
I will come soon.
Nice. And yeah, I'm like playing a lot in Germany with some guys as Yosho and Sven, and I also visited the US. I can see Gian. And yeah, actually, I would love to know where you guys are from. So maybe like who's from the US? Maybe you can raise your Zoom hand or your real hand. All right. So quite a few. Nice. Yeah, I'm sorry for my English if it's not like the best. So, but if you understand something, if you don't understand something, just yeah, as I told you, interrupt me, and I try to make everything clear. All right. Is there anyone from Germany? No one. Is there like someone not from the US and not from Europe? All right. Okay. So, oh, thanks, man. Yeah, the topic, maybe let's start. I think everyone is a guitarist. So if anyone joined who's not a guitarist, I will make some, yeah, all the examples I will make, of course, are guitar related Gypsy jazz stuff. So, yeah. And yeah, today's topic is like playing outside, or like in general, make your solos sounding modern. And yeah, so I want to go with you through some topics I thought about that could be interesting. And it's nice. I can see you, all the guys writing where you're from. Cool. Yeah, and I thought about how to go through this stuff. So first of all, I want to talk about like what's my idea of, or why do I try to play outside, or what's the benefit of it, and how I got into it. And yeah, so first of all, I have to say I'm not a really like analytic jazz player, and I'm not like yeah, super theoretical. So my approach in playing outside is to play around with stuff and to try. And that's actually, I think that's one of the reasons why I started in this topic, because I think especially in Gypsy jazz, it's a music that is kind of yeah, it's a lot of fun playing Gypsy jazz. And I also think there's a lot of humor in this music. And also when you solo, you can just make fun while playing and implement stuff to surprise other people, and to, for example, to make people laugh, or I don't know, hopefully not making people cry, but to just play around on the fretboard. And yeah, I think like one of the first reasons why I try to implement stuff like that is to surprise people. For example, I had one situation some years ago. I used to live in Cologne, and I was at a jam session, and I was soloing, and I just tried something new, and I ended up somewhere outside, and another guitarist was like his reaction was like, what the fuck, what was that? And then after I thought about that, and I was thinking, man, actually that's what I want to reach, that people listen to me and are like surprised, like, wow, what was that? I never heard about this. And especially in Gypsy jazz, I mean, we all learned from all the great players, and we all know like Django licks. I don't know, like, I think it's typical Django stuff, and we all use it, and it's great. And it's yeah, it's great to learn all this stuff. And at some point, I think we have to think about, okay, what can we do more? Or especially as a musician, you have to think about, how can I find my own style or try something new? And yeah, that was actually the point. Maybe also the situation I told you guys when I thought, maybe that's the way for me to kind of check it more out, and let's see what happens. And okay, let me get a quick look. Yeah, so to start with, of course, when I play, like I think like the difficult thing about playing outside is the question, because you have like the most degree of freedomness, that so maybe it sounds like for the beginning it sounds somehow easy, like to think about, oh, I could just play anything, but yeah, at the same time it gets super hard because not everything sounds nice. And so I want to go with you through some steps and some ideas that are kind of like the order I want to talk about is kind of also the order how I got into this topic. So the first thing I want to talk about, I mean, it's not real outside playing, but I think it's the first step in this direction is to use tritone substitutions. And yeah, as I said to you, I'm not super harmonically theoretical guy, so I just try to understand like enough to play it and to implement it. And yeah, the first thing I want to show to you is, for example, like one or two basic, or maybe not basic, but first licks we can use for a tritone substitution. And actually what you need to know about, like theoretically what you need to know about this is what a tritone is and a 2-5-1. So maybe I just go quick through it. So I thought about taking a song in, let's say, E flat. So can you hear my guitar good? Yeah, all right, perfect. So we can think about, for example, There Will Never Be Another You, typical gypsy jazz song, or also The Man I Love, for example, just songs in E flat. So, and if we have a 2-5-1, then it's with F minor, and we go to B flat 7, back to E flat. And when we now think about a tritone substitution, then we substitute, okay, wait, there's a question. Lower the camera, yeah, of course. I hope that my mic is not, and that you can see everything. Okay. So what do we want to substitute? We want to substitute the 7 chord, and we use the tritone. So it's the tritone for B flat is E. That's just that's the interval called tritone. So the idea is to substitute this chord with an E7. And actually why this works, maybe I can shoot to you a little bit closer. If we play B flat like this, usually I used to play, I used to play 7 chords like this, but let's say the lazy version of it is to play it like this. And then you can see if we now play E7, then these 2 fingers, they stay, kind of. I mean, I changed them to here, but like this. But these guys are still used when I play E7. Sharp 9 in this case. So you can think of, for example, if we play B flat 7-13, this one, it's very similar to E sharp 9. So maybe, I don't know, maybe some of you know this idea already. We can also use it while playing rhythm, for example. You could play. And for example, I think there's a Django song, I don't know if it's Melodie au Crépuscule or Django's Castle, I don't remember, but it's also implemented. So it's kind of a thing that occurs also in songs, but also while soloing. And my idea of this then is, okay, what can I do when I solo? I know, okay, we are in E flat and we have a 2-5-1 progression. So I can play my 2-5-1 licks, or I think when B flat 7, when it's B flat 7, I start to think, maybe I have some ideas in E, like this in E that I can use. And the easiest stuff, I'd say, is just to play a usual like major lick, for example. So I don't know. For example, when I'm in E flat, sometimes I could play something like typical E flat lick. And what I think now is, what if I play this in E while the rhythm guitar is playing B flat, and try to get smoothly back to E flat. So let me try to play something. I hope you can understand it, because I mean, of course, I have no rhythm guitarist here. So I played once rhythm, and then I play soloing, and yeah, I hope you can imagine the rhythm guitar. So so what I did is I played, we are here, F minor, and then at the B flat I started playing E. And then you have to think about, okay, how can I get back to E flat? Something like this, for example. So I will play it one more time very slow. So then yeah, you can, maybe I explain it a bit, and then you can, after the session, you could also go into the recording and figure it out. So it's I played, so I am starting here in like 7th fret with my 2nd finger, and yeah, it's kind of a, can you see my right hand? Yeah, okay. So I'm starting with an upstroke. Then I slide back to E flat, and then something like this. So it's okay. Yeah, I hope, I mean, I'm sorry if I sometimes I played slow, and after maybe I played not 100% the same way. It's a bit hard if I don't have a rhythm guitarist to know the exact beat. Yeah, are there any questions so far on this tritone substitution idea? All right, there's another thing, like, I mean, there's in Gypsy Jazz, there are some guys playing very modern, for example. I know, of course, like Borelli is playing a lot of stuff like this, and Adrian Monnier as well. And it's a typical thing in Gypsy Jazz that's I think that's really nice if we play, or not in Gypsy jazz, but in guitar music. If we have many songs in E flat, and so we can always use E, and we can use just the E string to make it sound nice. And there's one thing, like one lick I sometimes use in this situation that is really cool, I think, is to play something like this. And then we get back to E flat. So you could imagine that we play like same situation as before. We have 2, 5, 1 to E flat, and then I play and get back to E flat. So yeah, actually what I play is the E string, and then I have my first finger on the G string 11th fret, and my second finger on the B string 12th fret, and then I play it, and then I put my third finger also on the G string 13th fret. So we have an E major voicing. And yeah, as I told you, again, like now we have to think about, okay, how can we get back to E flat? Actually, that's the point about playing outside. You can play everything, and the hard thing is to get back inside. So yeah, so here it's kind of easy because you can just play something in E, and at some point that you can decide and you can figure out what fits best, you just move your hand 1 fret lower to E flat again. So for example, now I get back to E flat like this. All right, as you can see there, something happened in the chat. Okay, yeah. I mean, if I'd play rhythm, I wouldn't play E major 7. I would play E7 sharp 9. But yeah, as I told you, when I solo, I'd say if you play solo, you are a bit more free compared to if you play rhythm. So if we play rhythm, we have to kind of stick more to the harmonic structure, and if you play solo, you are a little bit more free. And yeah, you're right. When I solo, I solo over E major 7. That's true. Yes. All right, and there was a question.
Which, by the way, sorry, I meant to say, it's an interesting thing because anyways, it works, no? Because the major 7th of E is the 4th of B flat. So it's still a good note to play on B flat, even if you're not thinking, E dominant, you're thinking E major 7. And that's anyways the 4th of B flat, so it still works. It's a very interesting thing to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, there was one more question. If I can demonstrate something one more time. Which one? Like this one? Was it this? Yes. Okay. I played. Okay, I start with my 4th finger on the 9th fret on the A string, and then it's 4, 2, 1. So, and here's the accent. That's yeah, important to know where's the beat, like So it's like puff, and like it's, I mean, like it is in Gypsy jazz to play to like hard accents. Okay, and then it's here, first finger, D string, 6th fret, 4th finger, and then I go to the G string, that's the 8th fret, and then I move my hand. I go with the 3rd finger to the 9th fret, and then I play the B string, same fret, and then I go to the E string, 7th fret. And then I move my hand, I mean, this is the position for E major. And then I move my hand back to the 7th fret, 6th fret. And then we are back in E flat. And then I did this bending with my 2nd finger on the B string. Yeah. And then you're back home in E flat. So it's... Yeah. All right. Yeah, you're welcome. So let's move on. So the next thing I learned then is that I got to the altered scales. It's like another thing that you can, let's stick to E flat, and we are in B flat 7. We can kind of think in B minor, and there are, for example, there's one lick I want to show you. I think I learned this one from Fredi Lagren, and this one's a pretty cool lick and sounds I think like very modern. And when I tried to understand this lick, I realized that okay, it's some altered stuff. So yeah, and of course, if you learn stuff like this, after you learn how to play it, and then of course you have to think about how can you use it, and when, like all the situations. So it's kind of a thing you can always use in every 2-5-1 situation. So okay, let's go to I think maybe I play it first. So we are in E flat, and I play this. Back to E flat. And actually, yeah, maybe I show to you first. So quick. I'm on the 10th fret with my 1st finger, and then I play an F sharp with a 4th finger on the 14th fret, back to my 1st finger, and then maybe I like what we play is this chord. It's yeah, that's the B minor. So yeah, back to the lick. Then I play with my 3rd finger, 12th fret, 2nd finger, 11th fret, 3rd finger, 12th fret again. So we are actually like now we are here. And yeah, then I move my hand. That's kind of like the part again where I get back to my original key. Yeah, I play 2nd finger, 11th fret, then 1st finger, 9th fret, and then I move my hand back down, and I'm in, that's the 5th in E flat. So then I'm back here. So okay, let me play it again. And depending on the situation you use it, sometimes you have to add some more notes, sometimes you are done here. So for example, you could play also something like what I played before. So then I play with my 4th finger, 11th fret on the A string, and then 1, 2, 3, just A string. And this chord here with like my 1st finger here is again E flat. Yeah. So yeah, please let me know if I'm like too slow or too fast or too boring or what else. Please interrupt me if there's yeah, if you have questions or it's too slow or I don't know. Yeah, okay, this is a cool lick I learned from Birelli, I think, and maybe as an idea how you can learn to use this kind of stuff. I think like the good thing about guitar is you can play very like in a visual way. So for example, when I learn this lick, then I'm thinking about, okay, we are in E flat. So here I have the E flat and the lick starts just 1 fret behind. And I think that's kind of, maybe it's the most important thing to know, that if you have your key, whatever it is, let's say we are in A, Django's Tiger, for example, and then when I want to use this lick, I know, okay, here's the A, so here I start in A. So I think it's very important for like, it's not only about like playing outside altered stuff, or it's about, yeah, like everything you learn and want to implement in your soloing. And yeah, I mean, this of course works more if you play guitar. So I can see Terry is also here. Yeah, I hope you can you still get have some benefits.
Oh, really? It's very, what you just said about knowing how to get to it by just 1/2 step is very important. So it's the same on clarinet. You have to know how to get to it.
Yeah, true. And yeah, for example, just as a quick note, how I practice stuff like this, for example, I just put on a backing track and I try to play this lick, for example, as often as I can. So I could just imagine, okay, let's play All of Me, for example. And then just, where can I use this stuff like? And I try to use it like on every, yeah, as often as I can. Of course, that's not a nice solo, but it's very good for you to practice in which situations you can use all this stuff. So yeah, when I'm in C, I could play it here. And yeah, okay. I think there was another question. Yes, I can show it in A again, of course. So yeah, we start at the 4th fret. Go to the 8th fret, back to the 4th. With my 3rd finger, I go to the 6th fret on the B string. Then I'm with the 2nd finger on the 5th fret, G string. 4th finger again, 6th fret, on the D string. 2nd finger, then a small gap, and I play the 3rd fret with my 1st finger on the D string, and then I move 1 back to, here it's the 5th in A major, so Yeah, and the question is if this lick starts on beat 1, and I'd say yes, like as I played it here. So we could, let's think in, yeah, why not thinking in A? So I play a rhythm. And now I could play it. So yeah, as you saw, I extended it a bit to get on the 1, and but yeah, I'd started on beat 1. And yeah, maybe as yeah, what I had said before, while practicing this stuff, if you put on a backing track and try to play it as often as you can, try also to play around with rhythmic, not always starting it on the first beat. Try to start it on the second or on 4, for example, and see how it works and how well you can end up, and try to, maybe if you are very familiar with this lick, then try to add 2 or 3 more notes, try to extend it, and then, you know, somehow you get used to it and you start implementing it in your improvisation. So that's kind of, that's the goal. Okay, it's F.
Question, Fredi?
Yeah, sorry.
Hi, this is Christian from Ottawa. Hello, everyone, and hello, Frederick. Just a quick, sorry, got a little bit lost. When the last leak, this idea, I guess, is to arrive into a major chord. So we're still working from 5 to 1 or second 5-1.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
good.
that's true. Yeah, sorry. What I played when we are in A, I played B minor 7, E7. Oh, yeah. Precisely, it's E7 9 to A. We could like play A major. Yeah, I prefer, like, as in Gypsy jazz, very common to play A6, and yeah, that was what I played. Just 2-5-1 in A. Yes. Okay, and yeah, you should just play around with it and play different songs in different keys. So also if you play Coquette, let's say, in D, then you have to go to this D, go on back, and you know, okay, here I can play it. All right, and so let's move on. What comes next? Wait a second. So actually, like these 2 points, like tritone substitution and altered scales, are kind of not really playing outside, because it's still somehow, there are still rules, let's say. And the next question is, okay, I mean, what can I do that is not like altered or tritone, that is just, yeah, I don't know, just try something. And for example, what I really like is to, as I said to you, I really like to surprise people when I'm playing. So especially if we know, like, typical Gypsy jazz licks, there are many like expectations. So for example, let's go to, okay, we can go back to E flat, and there's a typical, like, dominant lick. So the dominant chord is B flat 7, and a very like common gypsy jazz lick to get back to E flat could be this one, for example, or for example. Oh wait, let me quickly think about. So, but we all, if we hear this, we all have the expectation it has to go here. Like if you listen to a player playing stuff like this, and it's a song in E flat, he's playing stuff like this, you already know if he will get to E flat. And I think that's like the part where it gets interesting, and where you can surprise people that expect you to get back to E flat. Why not surprising them and just play, let's say, just go to D, for example? Why not? So if I play like 2-5-1 again, maybe. So what I did is I played a dominant lick, but then I started playing in D. So that's kind of, I think it's kind of a really nice way to just to surprise people and make them like, yeah, to have kind of, for example, the situation I told you that people are like, oh wow, what's this? I never heard this. So and that's just a thing to play around with stuff. So you all know your, like, what would you typically play, for example? I mean, I'm sure all of you guys, you have like your licks you used to play, and I also have my licks, and I could play this stuff, for example, just normal in E flat. And yeah, actually the idea is just move your hand somewhere else and get back to E flat. So and we are back in E flat. So yeah, maybe I'll play it once a little bit slower, but I think I won't go like through all the single notes, because it's like this yeah, in this situation, the important thing is more the idea, because you could also just take your favorite major lick, for example, and you would play in coquette. Or no, sorry, not coquette. We were in E flat. So yeah, take your favorite major lick for There Will Never Be, for example. How would you start a solo? For example, I would play, and then use this lick, your favorite lick, and just play it in D. It's also a good thing to start a solo, to kind of like from the first note on, like to say like, hi, here I am, and surprise people, and not start like how everyone starts. Just start in D, even though the song is in E flat. Why not? But you have to like kind of get back to E, of course, E flat, sorry. And okay, so I will play it one more time, very slow. And yeah, if you want to figure it out like precisely, then you can go to the video recording after. I try to, oh, okay. Hopefully you can see everything good. So, okay, the idea is we're in E flat. I play a dominant chord, and actually intended to get back to E flat, but what I do is I play D. All right. Sorry, a bit slower. So yeah, I think it was maybe a bit similar to what we played before, but maybe it's good. Then it's kind of, yeah, makes sense in the context. And yeah, I mean, of course, like yeah, what I wrote down here, for example, actually it's pretty much the same idea. For example, in Django's Tiger, I also, if you have a chord, for example, or a song, let's say Django's Tiger, you have 4 bars A. So it's a very long time. And for example, there I really like to go out of A shortly and get back to A in this period of time. So when I play, okay, let me play maybe 4 bars of Django's Tiger. So okay, actually there were 2 bars, but you get the idea. I played A. Now I play A flat. Back to A. So yeah, maybe I can show you this one more precisely, because I think it's a nice one. So yeah, play something in A to get like to this A flat. Maybe I skip this one. The important part is here. So we are in A flat, and then I play actually the just A flat major chord. So it's 4th fret, 1st finger on the E string. Then I move to the 6th fret, and I stay here and play the 3rd finger on 8th fret. And then I play 6th fret, A string and D string. So that's actually just A flat. And then I move here to the 8th fret on the D string and play actually the same but higher. So when I'm here, I play my 3rd finger, the 10th fret on the D string, 7th fret, 8th fret on the G string with my 1st finger, and 9th fret, my 2nd finger, 8th fret with my 1st finger. So where we are now, here, and then I go back to A. So I move it 1 fret higher. So yeah, I think that this one, for example, is just a nice way to make your solo more interesting, especially if you have like many bars, same chord, A major. What to do about on 4 bars, same chord. For example, this, yeah, that you just play a lick you would play on A, but just move it somewhere like higher or lower. I prefer like going a bit lower and get back to A. So let me play it one more time. Yeah. Do you have questions on this?
I think this is very cool, man, because I love playing outside, but it's very helpful for new ideas, because I tend to apply ideas to play outside on dominant chords. But this is to do it on the 1 is super cool.
Yeah.
And I never thought of this before. So yeah, it's very useful, because as you say, if we have a static major chord, of course you can, I don't know, if we have A major, you can play A major, but then, you can play C sharp minor, you can play F sharp minor, which makes it sound a bit cooler, but that's not really playing outside.
Yeah.
But like this is super cool. And even what I teach, in the school is mostly about dominant chords, right?
Yes.
But I would argue that playing outside on dominant chords is easy because it's already tense, and so you can play anything you want really. But playing on the static chords, on the release, not on the tense part, but on the release part, so the one, playing outside like this is very smart. So I really like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I add something too?
Yes, of course.
That's what I think. Thank you very much. This is great because I also confirm something that I discovered playing just around by myself, my own experience. This concept of being able to arrive or just putting attention in how to go back to the key or the tonal area where you're playing, using whatever you have in your disposal tool, like chromatisms or scales, arpeggios, whatever. And that has been something that I discovered just probably a few years ago, not very recently, and this is great to hear that actually, yeah, I think that is so important. I put a lot of attention on how I get back to where we were supposed to be.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I think like the important thing is just try out and play around with it, because you have to just to try it, and you have to fail at some point, and that you know, okay, what's not the way to get back, but to figure out what is a good way. And I think if you, for example, what I said, if we go just one like half step lower, it's kind of, let's say, easier to get back, because you can just you can just move your hand higher and continue playing what you play. So for example, when I play, I could just like somewhere in between move my hand. So actually it, like, technically it doesn't matter on what point of time you move back, but of course some ways sounds better, some way maybe not, and yeah, that's a good it's a good thing to try it out and to figure out where it makes sense. Like I would say most of the times it's nice to get back in the right key on the one of the bar, for example, to make it somehow clear where you are harmonically. And maybe it's easier for the listener to understand what you're doing. Yeah, I think there was one more question. Could you use this idea in minor? Technically, I'd say yes. Like when I think about when I learn a new idea, and I think about when can I use it. Of course, if it's a major idea, I check out all the situations where I can use it, and then I play minor swing, and I'm like, oh, what the fuck, you know, I cannot use this idea. But at the same time, you know, as you all probably know, that is like A minor is the same like C major. So for example, maybe if we get back to the altered lick, what I showed you, this one here, for example, I learned that when I'm in C, I just go one back. But when I play in minor, let's say A minor, I learned, okay, I go twice up, which is actually the same like thinking in C and go one down. I could also think in A minor and go two up. And then I know, okay, when I play A minor, I could play it here. And still sounds nice. So in a way, you can use all the ideas that are like you learned in a major context, also in a minor context, of course. And at that point, I'd say if you have a new idea, you have to try and figure out and listen to it and think about, does it sound nice? For example, some ideas I learned in a major context, and I try to use them in minor, and sometimes I feel like maybe this doesn't fit some point, or maybe I have to change one note, for example, and then I'm like, okay, now it sounds nice. And so, but actually I'd say this concept of playing a lick here, a minor lick, and going to a flat, for example, and come back to A. Yeah, I'd say it's the same thing. You can also do it in a minor song. And yeah, I don't know. I prefer to do it in major stuff. Actually, I don't really know why, but yeah. So, but technically, yes, you can use it in, like, it's just a concept, I'd say, of moving your hand somewhere else, play what you wanted to play, and move your hand back. So, we're running out of time. Let me check. Yeah, there's one more thing I wanted to mention, and therefore I want to think in D, and maybe, like, as we talked about before, no, sorry. I want to think in G. And actually there's, probably most of you know Coquette. And there's, like, after the second A, it goes to D7 to G. And maybe one last idea I want to go quickly through is that we can play this D7. We can play, like, okay, before we have like D major, after we go to D7. So I can play D here. And now I think about, there's a tritone substitution lick for D7, what I play here. That means I think in A flat. And A flat I could play here. It's kind of the similar way like playing D here. I could play A flat here. That's like what I tend to play on D7. So I hope I don't confuse you. We are in D major first, here. Then we go to D7, and I play tritone substitution. So actually I play A flat. And then we get to D. And the idea, what I want to say is, because this is kind of the same, like the same finger position, is it somehow possible to move your hand, like, or to make a periodically thing to get there, for example? And this type of licks I think are very cool. So when I could play, let's say I am playing Coquette. And then I get back to G. So the idea is to take this, for example, and move it, let's say, for example, this one is already A flat. So the idea is to, you have kind of a starting point that is in the key, it's D. And you have an end point that in this type, it's like the tritone substitution, so it's A flat. And you want to get there in a cool way. So you can just try out what fits, for example. For example, in Gypsy jazz, there's like all of you probably know this type of licks, and why not using this technique, for example, here? Yeah, so yeah, sorry, there was kind of a quick run through this idea, but I think that's also a really nice thing about playing outside is to know where you are. And like what we did before was just like we are in D, we go quickly out of D and we get back to D. And now we think of we are in D and we are in G, and we have a way to get there that is kind of outside, but we get inside, but not again in D, we get inside to G here. So yeah, that is a kind of advanced idea. Maybe I play it one time a bit, yeah, one more time that you can figure it out after in the recording. So yeah, it's 2-5-1 to D. And then we go to D7, and then I play, sorry, a bit slower. And here we are in A flat already, so it's tritone substitution to D7. And now I'd say, like, depending on how many beats you have left to get back to G, if we are already done, then you could just go here. It's the 5th in G. If you have one more bar left, you can play a D7 lick here, as I did before. Yeah. All right. Do you have questions on this? I know there was pretty quick one run through this idea.
Is there gonna be a second part for this lesson? It's so interesting. I think it will deserve some second part.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't talked to Philip about that. Maybe.
Yeah, we can definitely do a part 2 if there's enough, if enough of you want. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, seems like there are no questions. Yeah, so I'd say thank you guys
Thanks, Fredi.
for listening to me. Thanks, Filippo, for inviting me.
Yeah, of course, man. Thank you. It's beautiful stuff. As I said, really love. I can't wait to go and try this playing outside on the one.
Nice.
So very cool. And thank you for having us. You guys will receive the replay.
Thank you very much, Filippo and
course.
Frederick, for this lesson. It's great. I'm really enjoying Filippo's initiative of having these lessons. Are amazing, really good stuff. Thank you very
Awesome.
much.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Fredi, how can we be of service to you? How can we support you? Do you have anywhere where people can go check out your music, buy your albums?
Yeah, actually there will be a new album. It's already recorded with some great players, also with Sven, and I've invited a
Great.
pianist. And yeah, you can follow me on, of course, Facebook and Instagram.
Can we put some links in the chat box for
Yes.
people to support you? And
Yes, of course. And
do you have a website? I think I saw your website actually.
I have also, yeah, I can put some links in.
Yeah, let's put the links here in the chat so people can. I will also put these links in the replay email.
Yeah. So this is my website, and I can also.
Carl, of course you can.
What?
No, I was answering to Carl. Carl asked
okay,
if you can
okay.
make a suggestion.
I don't know how to have a link to an Instagram profile, but I can just put my Instagram name here. Ah, yeah, and I also have some stuff on Soundslice.
Yeah, why don't you send us the link so maybe people can go and purchase your stuff there?
Yeah, of course. Let me see how I can send it to you.
Just a quick note. I discovered Fredi a few months ago, and some of those your YouTube videos are amazing. And I've been working on some
Thank
of
you.
your transcribing some of your solos there. There are very, very nice ideas there too.
Thank you, man. It's great to hear.
For Carl asks, is it possible to have some of those licks written out so we can go home with them to work on? So you guys will receive the replay of this, of course, as well. But we can definitely. Last time there was some volunteers who wrote them down. I can definitely see if I've got time to do it. But definitely feedback noted for next time.
Can I just say something? Can I say something?
Yes, of course, yeah.
Yeah, the reason I wrote that is because I find it difficult to go through a whole hour video just to recapture 2 licks or something like that.
Yeah, good point.
Speaking for myself, I don't have the time.
Yeah.
You know? So I just thought it would be good. Sometimes if the teachers, the instructors would come in with some of that, their licks written out, like tabbed out or something that we can take them with us.
Yeah, so good point, and definitely will take your feedback to heart and make sure we implement next time. It's a good point. But to fix that at least a little bit for today, why don't you, Fredi, show us in the next 3 minutes all the licks that you talked about today, so that people can skip to the end of the replay?
Yeah.
Do you mind doing that?
Yeah, I'm not sure if I remember all the stuff I played.
So we had that first one.
I think like the first I played. Yes. So it's
something like that.
Yes, correct. We played 251 in E flat. So and then I played in E. Something like that. Maybe one more slower. Sorry guys, you can see my right hand. All right, and then I had this one. And get back to E flat. So I play E major. To E flat. And then I had this altered lick from Birelli. So I think we also played it in E flat. And I start here on the major 7. Get back to E flat. Yeah, and then I played, I think, yeah, I had this idea to play like a dominant lick to get to E flat, but then play E in D. So we had Terry. Yeah, so I played a dominant lick that is intended to get to E flat, but I played in D, and what I played was So I'm not sure exactly what I played in this dominant part, but the important thing to know is to play then this idea in D. And yeah, then I had this, like actually the same idea in A, for example, to play Django's Tiger. And get back to A. And the last thing was this idea to get from D to D7. But we don't play D7, we play A flat, like the tritone substitution. But the underlying chord is D7 to get to G. So what I played is, sorry. This is A flat, for example, to get back to G. And yeah, I think that was it. Right? Yes.
Yeah, so
That helps a lot, by the way. I can go to the end of the video now. Appreciate
awesome. Last one, G251. No, I think it is. The last one was coquette. No, was
Yes,
it,
yes.
from
Sorry,
the
yeah.
end of the A section going to the B section.
Right. So actually, like the chords we need for this progression is D major, D7, and then G. So that's why we can play this D major stuff, get to D7, but we play tritone substitution. So A flat, but the underlying chord is D7, and to get to G, for example. Yeah, so what we need is D, D7, and G. And if you learn this idea, of course, you should think about where can I use it, and yeah, think about other situations where you have a major chord that turns into a seventh dominant chord, and then to get in the next key, like from D to G and stuff. So
Awesome.
yeah.
So what I've done here, I put all your links together so people can go and check them out as well. We have Fredi's website, his Instagram, his sound slice. So just make sure we go and support him. And obviously, you know, you've got a lot of educational content on YouTube, but the sound slice stuff is obviously what we recommend, both because it's probably more specific than the YouTube content, and also it's our way to support Fredi. And you know, I'm sure you'll have we expect big things from you, so I'm sure you'll do amazing. And we're happy to support you, and thank you for doing this for us. And I think that's it, isn't it?
Yeah, it's from my side, and that's it. Thank you guys. Thank you, Filippo, very much.
Thank you, Fredi. Hope to see you soon in Berlin. But we'll talk again soon, and perhaps we'll do another one of these. Who knows?
Yeah, it would be great.
Yeah, maybe we'll do a part 2.
Yes, nice.
Okay. Thank you, everybody.
All right.
Thank you.
Fredi.
Bye-bye.
See you.
Thank you. Take care.